There's a huge showdown in the association tonight between KD's Suns and the defending champion Denver Nuggets. Phoenix has lost 4 of their last 6 games, currently on a 2-game losing streak, and are only a half game out of being in the play-in tournament. During this first season together, their big three of Beal, Booker, and KD have only played 23 out of possible 61 games. Stephen A., Shannon, and JJ here. Shannon, I'm going to start with you on this one. Have the Suns been the most disappointing team so far in the NBA?
For me, they have, and I understand, like, when KD got there last year, he gets nicked, and then he and Booker really didn't have an opportunity to play together, and then they had so much anticipation with Bradley Beal coming over, but for whatever reason, each guy takes a turn getting injured. Bradley Beal started, he was nicked during the season. Book has been in and out of the lineup. The only thing that's kind of been consistent is KD, but for me, they've been very, very disappointed given the expectations of what was placed on them. So for me, I'm going to say it's the Suns.
They're disappointing in me, Shannon and JJ, for a different reason. Number one, 21 turnovers the other night against OKC on Sunday, I believe. Third biggest jump from last season and this season in terms of turnovers committed. Not just that, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, KD can't get on the court together. 23 of 61 games they've played with one another, just 38% of their games, okay? And 15 of their final 22 games are against the top 8 teams in the NBA. Not to mention, I even bring up their fourth quarter woes and how they struggle in the fourth quarter. And so I look at it from that standpoint, and I got reasons to be concerned about them. Again, offensively, they can explode at any moment and beat anybody. Just watching them this year, JJ, you don't get any impression whatsoever that they're going to make a run. You see them falling before you see them ascending. That's how I view them.
You know, you guys both bring up great points. I think the disappointing part to me is that we haven't seen enough of them all healthy and together. Durant's missed 7 games. Booker's missed 11 games. Beal has missed 29 games. Shannon, your point about expectations is a fair point. I would say this. Coming into this season, we talked a lot about how there were 10 really good basketball teams in the Western Conference. So given the amount of injuries they've had, the fact that they're sitting in 6th place, to me, that's not a disappointing thing. If you look at this data, and again, I hate sometimes using stats, but sometimes you have to. If you look at the data, there have been a bunch of teams that have had 5-man lineups play 250 minutes or more together. Only 5 of those lineups have outscored opponents by 10 or more points per 100 possessions. Phoenix is one of those lineups. Their starting 5 is one of those lineups. When they go small with Durant and Eric Gordon and Grayson Allen and Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, they outscore opponents by 19 points per 100 possessions. When they've been on the court together, they've been a damn good basketball team. So the disappointing part is the injuries. It's not necessarily in the performance of the big three when they've been together. And I still think, I'll say this, we knew this coming into the season. This is the problem with building super teams. You are not going to have the depth to withstand one of your main guys getting hurt, especially in this conference. So, again, relative to expectations, I'm not disappointed given the injuries.
Even though they've only played 23 games together, they're still only 5 games over 500. So if you tell me they only played 23 games together, and let's say they're 17-6 or they're 18-5, then I was like, oh man, if they really did get it together. But are we like gonna jump up and down like when they get together? Because it's still gonna take some time, and what we thought was gonna be able to be built in training camp or in the summer, it hasn't materialized. And so I think they should be disappointed considering you got Devin Booker, who's an all-star. You got Kevin Durant, who's an all-star.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Take them down, try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA over here,